Producer John Iannuzzi, joined by co-host Rebecca Cooper. She's familiar to Frankie Boyer's audience. By the way, Frankie taking a deserved day off for Memorial Day. And we're so thankful that we are allowed to sit in Frankie's chair for a couple of days. And Rebecca is, of course, a mother, a wife, a singer. She's a musician, an artist. She's got a law background, which could come in handy. And how's the golf game?
I'm trying. I'm making small strides, no pun intended, to create better habits that hopefully will carry me into the future. Like, I'm going to the range before I play. I know that might seem obvious, like, that's the warm up, that's where you go, but it's just so annoying to go to the range. You have to get in the outfit, you have to get in the car, the little thing, drive up to the range, unload the bag, have the balls, hit the balls for like what feels like an hour, but it's really like 10 minutes. And then go back down and play the golf. And still, you might not do well, and you probably won't. So there's like no even like a guarantee that going to the range is going to give you a leg up. I mean, I think it does, but it's just like how you do at the range is not indicative of how you do on the course.
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I was a range warrior and maybe picked up some bad habits at the range. But wait, I can't let this slide. Did you say you have a separate outfit for the range?
No, like you have to get into an outfit.
I thought you had a range outfit.
A range. Can you imagine how many outfits can one have? But
I don't know. Tell us.
I do very much like to be coordinated in my wardrobe in general. So I really like a golf dress, and I really like a sleeveless golf dress. I don't really like to exert myself in sleeves of any kind.
Well, you feel encumbered. You feel weighed down. Now, you play, for our listeners in Greenwich. Where do you play?
I play at the Millbrook Club.
Tell us a little bit about that course.
The Millbrook Club is a 9-hole course, and it's actually America's first golf community, if you can imagine that. It was built on the land of the old mob boss Tweed from New York. He owned like hundreds of acres, and then he got busted for tax evasion.
As in Tweed Airport? I gotta look that up.
Yeah, maybe let's look it up. And he lost his land to the government. And that is what Millbrook, both the community and the club, are today.
Yeah, that's the same guy, Rebecca.
There you go. That guy was not a good guy, but they named an airport for him.
John Tweed. So wait, so by a golf community, we're talking like, do you find balls in your backyard?
No, there's about 150 houses in Millbrook. So I happen to live in Millbrook, but not everybody who lives in Millbrook belongs to Millbrook. And Millbrook is a private club. So you can live on the grounds of Millbrook, but not belong to the club, which a lot of people do, actually.
Yeah, I like being around a course.
All right. I think it's weird to not belong to the club in which you live on the grounds. But okay. It's a great club. It's a great club for the families. It's, people who enjoy golf, but that's not their lives. Like there's many surrounding clubs that have beautiful 18-hole courses and attract a more, shall we say, intense and serious golfer. And I'm not saying they don't exist at Millbrook. Of course they do. But overall, the vibe is much more chill.
I should mention, this is probably a good time to bring up that here on WGCH, we have the Clubhouse, which is a monthly show, 4 o'clock in the afternoon with Rob Adams. And he has on some great local golf pros. And, there are some people right in our backyard who are tour ready, Rebecca.
Oh, sure. And in fact, there are kids who are tour ready.
Are yours counted amongst them?
I would say not, but my son is part of the junior PGA, and that's like a competitive team in which participating clubs and outfits compete against each other. And because they're under 12, it's not like keeping score and logging it. It's just having a good time and learning mannerisms and the rules and etiquette of golf. It's very good.
What do you think you've pulled from the game that you kind of translates into life?
Oh, great question. Golf is my life game. It's indicative of so many aspects of my life. So, first of all, golf is a game, a one on one game. You could be out there with three other people and you could hit the ball into the trees. It does not matter. That's your game. That's your shot. As long as you have a good attitude and you can move the ball forward, anyone will play with you. I've played with awesome golf players from my club that normally why I'm nowhere as near as good as they are, but because I possess those two qualities, they like to play with me. So in life, if you can just see life moving forward and realize like it's all good, keep it happy, keep it light, you'll do really well, and the competition is only against yourself. You're not competing against anyone else in life because it's a losing game. There's always going to be somebody better than you at this, or wealthier than you, or more talented than you, or taller than you, or whatever. Get over it, work with what you got, and just enjoy. And you also don't have to have a certain physique to play golf. There's like old fat guys playing all the time. These old
Yes,
dudes.
there are. And
Okay.
a lot of times they're in the foursome right in front of me, slowing things down.
Amazing. But, it's a game of camaraderie. And I've seen it really brings people together. I stopped playing the racket sports about 5 years ago. And so, um, I wanted to get back into sort of a social group, and I found my golf ladies, and it's wonderful. It's a wonderful little niche in my life.
Now, with the racket sports, did you miss or intentionally miss the pickleball craze?
Well, I had major foot surgery about 3 years ago, and
You know,
I
my
have,
co-host Matt Cahan did too.
yeah, I had
It's not
pins
a
and
joke. This is a
no,
significant thing.
this was a very big deal. It was my right foot, so naturally the dominant foot, the driving foot, whatever. So I have pins and screws in my foot that I will not take out because that requires another surgery. And why? Like it's not necessary. And any sort of difficult terrain or impactful terrain, like a court, is really just not how I'd like to get re injured. And the re injury rate is pretty high. So I'm at peace with several things in my life that I just, not that I cannot do, but that, it would be wise not to do. So I'm at peace, but I can play tennis and I played for a really long time. It's just, I have to be smart about where I am.
You move nimbly. I've never seen you kind of like gingerly move about. You move swiftly, Rebecca.
Well, thank you. But in a tennis game, it's really like jolting, it's jolted movements, it's back and forth, quick footwork. And I'm really not interested in getting re injured. And there's a probability that I would. So I'm not going to entertain that. There's many other things I can do in life that bring me joy.
So golf it is. I have to tell you, with just the 2 minutes left in this segment, some of the best courses I've ever played, upstate New York, kind of in the Saratoga area.
Hmm,
Public courses, but absolutely stunning views and
awesome.
challenging holes.
Oh yeah, I bet. I mean, they have sprawling land up there. So the opportunities are vast.
As a matter of fact, there's a station that we're on right now, WBTN, which is in kind of like the foothills of the Berkshires. And there's a hole where you're basically driving into the Berkshire Mountains. So think
Cool.
about it. I know that you're, where you are, but think about maybe a road trip. I am so pleased to be joined by Rebecca Cooper. We're filling in for Frankie Boyer this Memorial Day, and we will be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Don't have the time or expertise to market your small business? Constant Contact's powerful digital marketing platform helps you grow your audience, engage your customers, and sell more to boost your business. Now, with just a few clicks, you can launch a personalized marketing campaign that includes email, social, SMS, and more tailored to your business and your goals. Save time and get real results with Constant Contact. Try it free today at ConstantContact.com.
John Iannuzzi, producer, Rebecca Cooper, co-host, Rebecca Cooper, Woman About Town, and the town in this instance is Greenwich, Connecticut. We're being heard right now on WGCH Radio, and this weekend is the big town party. Rebecca, I'm wondering if you have any town party memories. I do, for sure. But over the course of the last, it's been over a decade, right? Maybe 20 years that they've been doing this.
Oh, yeah. It's a really cool aspect of Greenwich and just the immense amount of teamwork that you see everyone get into when you drive by the grounds of the town party. Those grounds are closed for an entire week for these people to load and unload and get things ready because you have big names headlining and they require some serious stage management. And it's quite a sight to see. It's really cool. I remember seeing Billy Joel a couple of years ago. And, he was a frequent boater. He would dock at the Delamar and sometimes just sit and play the piano just for fun. And I think it was really nice to sort of have him in a smaller setting, just being a little bit more relaxed. I mean, he was on, don't get me wrong, but it was really nice and everyone knew his songs, and just to see people let loose a little bit was really, really nice to see.
And I think the whole impetus behind this was to say, Memorial Day weekend is not the most fun to travel. So
absolutely,
if you could stay home and have, some of these touring acts come to you, can't be beat. And through the radio,
love it.
Through the radio station, I was, up front. Many years we broadcasted. I think we actually are this year as well. There's a lot of local acts. But as a huge Paul Simon fan, the year that he was there, the weather cooperated.
Mm-hmm.
It was just phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And I remember stopping at the Hyatt Regency, which I don't think, is the Hyatt still a hotel or has it become like a...
No, they redid it. Yeah, on the border of Old Greenwich and Stamford.
Correct. But
yes.
I thought they were going to put a movie theater in there too.
They did.
Interesting. But that day that Paul Simon was performing at the town party, swung through Winfield's, the gazebo, and there he was having a tuna fish sandwich.
Yeah, the guy, he's from Wilton or Weston, one of those two. He coached his kids' baseball team.
Yes.
This guy's a normal guy. He just happens to be Paul Simon.
And he's diminutive. He's a tiny guy. And I remember I wanted to go up to him, but I just got the sense that he wanted to enjoy his tuna fish and be left alone.
Yeah, which is why he was probably having lunch where he was having lunch.
As someone who, you perform on stage.
Yes.
By the way, do you have anything coming up you want to tell us about?
We start in November 22nd at the Shems JCC in Terrytown with the musicals of the 1950s. So tickets will go on sale this summer at shemsjcc.org.
You've been doing this a while.
Yeah, this is 8 years now.
Why do you keep coming back?
Because people want us to come back, because the concept is really unique and interesting. The concept of hearing the history of musical theater and then coupled with the music itself by professionals is really a great night out. It's not too long. It's delightful to see people swaying in their seats and singing along, brings all of us such joy. And to keep the genre alive, because musical theater has really been morphing and changing over the years. And it's not what it was back in, the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. It just changed a lot. And there's a whole population of people who miss their music, and we like to bring it to them.
Where do you hide that voice?
I know I have a low speaking voice, but a very high singing voice.
I've seen you perform, and I was really proud of you. And
thank you, my friend.
It's great to see the reaction too from the audience, especially following so many years where live performances were curbed. Did you do anything over Zoom during COVID?
We did, actually, and it probably was our largest, hundreds and hundreds of people. We did it in a backyard in Stamford, and
I think I remember this. I think I might have been one of the hundreds.
People pulled up their lawn chairs onto this backyard, and really just the reaction of people to hearing live music is just so precious and valuable. And what live music, any music, like what people are going to hear at the town party this weekend, if people go to a chamber music concert, just feeling the vibration of the instruments and hearing the singing on microphones on the floor beneath you, it's very powerful, and it's very moving to many people.
And who are the folks that you work with? You don't do this by yourself, although have you?
No. My narrator is Broadway legend Jack Viertel. He was the senior executive vice president of Drew Jemison Theaters for about 20 plus years and created the Encore series at City Center and wrote many Broadway musicals himself, including The Prom and Smokey Joe's Cafe. So he is our wise narrator, and we are musically directed by Zach Campler, who is a very popular musical director in this area. He does a lot of work at schools, and he runs the Sound Beach Orchestra in Old Greenwich. And his wife is the music teacher at Old Greenwich Elementary. And he's just a really awesome guy to be directed under. And my vocalists are usually the same four people. We have Marissa Cortese, Tyler Panic, and Daniel Frankel, and myself. And the instrumentalists vary according to what pieces we need for the particular artist or genre or decade that we're celebrating. So those people do rotate.
Is this something that you'll do forever?
I think you age out of singing. To be honest with you, the voice is a muscle, just like the legs and, the arms. And, you don't really see a ton of people in their 70s plus on Broadway for a reason. It's just, their instrument has sort of ran its course. And I just want to savor every moment that I have the opportunity to do this and to just pass it along to anybody and maybe give them inspiration to do it for themselves when I'm no longer able to.
All right. We are out of time in this segment, but we will be right back. Rebecca Cooper, John Iannuzzi, in for Frankie Boyer. Don't go anywhere.
Would you like to host your own radio program or podcast? Park City Productions 06604 is a Bridgeport, Connecticut-based radio broadcast solutions company. Follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's Park City Productions 06604. Call us at 203-522-8801.
Frankie Boyer Show, John Iannuzzi producer, with co-host Rebecca Cooper, familiar voice. Before the break, we were talking a little bit about tribute acts. I did want to say I've recently watched, and I wanted to also talk to you about your scrolling habits, but I was scrolling, I was doom scrolling, and I found a performance by Glenn Campbell. He did a Wichita lineman in the throes of Alzheimer's. And it's incredible to me how you said yourself, the voice is a muscle. And like anything else, even people in the grips of a horrible disease like dementia or Alzheimer's can still tap into their art and somehow perform, their hits. Is singing a tool, I guess, that you keep with you the rest of your life, like your golf game?
I would say, and I would encourage everyone to look at this video that went viral. I'm sure even YouTube has it now. It's a woman who has dementia. She must be in the video probably in her mid 90s. And she was a prima ballerina. And she barely moves her body anymore. Like she just doesn't have, let alone the mental capacity, the physical capacity. They play her Swan Lake, and which was a role she danced, decades and decades before. 15, 20 seconds in, this woman starts to do the dance. She starts to do the foot movement, sitting in a wheelchair, but she's moving her arms and her feet. And they have a side-by-side video of her doing Swan Lake, and she's doing exactly the right moves.
Just from like an internal memory, an internal.
Correct.
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild. So like, it's like getting on a bike, it's like riding a bike. It's the same analogy. If you hadn't ridden a bike in like 20 years and someone was like, you need to get on a bike and get to this place now, you could do it. It might be crazy weird at first, but you could do it because you have the muscle memory. But in order to have longevity in that memory, you have to practice and keep that muscle warm.
When was the last time Rebecca Cooper rode a bike?
Like an adult bike?
Yeah, like any bike. Any bike.
Yeah, no. Like not a Peloton.
I think the Del Mar, like in West Hartford, used to have them out front if you wanted to ride one down a Blueback Square, and I think we did that.
I went to Winvian in the Berkshires about 8 years ago, and there's no cars allowed on the Winvian property, and every bungalow or whatever gets bikes.
So you so you cycled around.
Yeah.
What is the big plan for this Memorial Day weekend for you guys?
Man plans and God laughs. So, as we have spoken about, the weather is not going to be great. I want to make sure that my kids are not on their electronic devices, which is always a challenge. So my son and I have a movie date to watch a movie that based on a book that he just finished and loved. And the movie happens to be sensational. So I'm looking forward to doing that with him. We have some play dates and get-togethers with family and friends. My stepdaughter is coming in from medical school this weekend, and so we'll be with her. Marshall is supposed to play golf, but let's see.
He'll get around in. AAA, by the way, predicts almost 40 million Americans traveling by car. And a good chunk of that, Rebecca, is in the Northeast. So I don't know.
Why do people do that?
Oh, and I love how they complain about the price of gas as they're doing it.
Yeah, like you want to go to Lake George, you have to leave on Friday afternoon. Like,
minimum. The only thing I'll say is that for a very long time, I lived in a very urban setting. And when the weekends like this would arrive, I definitely felt the desire to head up to higher ground. Wanted to get into the woods. Now that I live in the woods, I have no intention of going anywhere. But
right, but the headache that it takes to get up there, is it worth it?
We have a mutual friend Ann Klein, who was a neighbor of mine, I'll never forget saying to me, this is the first person I ever heard say this, come home from vacation saying, I need a vacation
From
from
my
my
vacation.
vacation.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
the first person I ever heard say that.
Yeah.
Are you guys ready for the end of school?
Well, my children go to private school, and I'll never, because John, if our listeners don't know, John and I have gone through our education together starting in middle school. So in the public schools. So we know that public school ends at the end of June and always has. But the private school ends at the beginning of June.
Yes,
And
my daughter has 10 days left.
so, I'm actually the third grade representative in my son's class. So I'm in charge of the end of the year soiree. My daughter has final exams, which stress her out because she's in middle school, but it's just the beginning for her. So we have to learn how to manage that. And then before you know it, it's over and summer plans have to come into effect.
Now, I know that you you and I are very different.
Yes.
I am very spur of the moment, seat of my pants, to my detriment. For instance, even today, I didn't know what was happening until it began. But I'm assuming you've laid out your summer.
Yeah, my son has an easier summer flow than my daughter, but I will say, and you should be proud of me because I'm sort of adopting your fly by the seat of my pants. My son's going to sleepaway camp for the first time. He's
First
going,
time.
yes, he's going for the first session, which is almost 4 weeks. But in the middle of the first session, they're going to give him the option to stay for the full summer if he would like. His first half of the summer is already planned. He's at camp. But the second half of the summer is not planned at all because he might be staying at camp. So if he likes it, he's going to stay. And if he doesn't want to stay, then I have to pivot and I'm going to figure it out. Are you proud of me? I'm not like super meticulous about his.
As a degenerate gambler, I want to put a parlay in as to whether or not he's going to go for the second round. What do you think? What
I
does
think
your heart say?
the odds are good.
That he would stay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's going to be really good for him. I'm just really hoping that the sleepaway camp experience is formative for my little boy.
What is the age to start? My daughter's 7.
So my son's going into 4th grade. And I would say that that is the most popular entry point going into 4th. My daughter went going into 4th as well. The later you wait, and going into 5th is fine too. But I think after that, and some kids going into 3rd if the camp offers it. But I think, to be honest with you, if you wait much later than going into 5th grade, a lot of friendships are formed and camaraderie is made. That's not to say there's no room for new kids, but the older you get, the harder it is.
To break into I hate to use the word, the cliques. Boys and girls different? I think it was off air that we talked about boy and girl dogs being different, but boys and girls different in being away from mom.
Well, I have 2 mamas, a mama's girl and a mama's boy, but I know, lucky me.
No, that's beautiful. I think that's beautiful. Great.
They're just very, very different in their interests and they're just different people. So how they handle things is different. So I'm curious to see how my son fares ripping the Band-Aid off and just going.
We've opted this year for a mixed bag because in the past, we've done tennis, we've done field hockey, and after a few weeks, my daughter gets restless with what she's doing. So we're doing a couple of weeks here, a couple of weeks there. Turns out to be a lot more expensive and a lot more work for me driving around, but for her, I think it's a recipe for really having a summer, as they say.
Yeah, I understand that. And my older daughter is in that place right now where she tried 5 summers of an 8-week sleepaway camp experience. She checked that box. And now she's doing a couple of different things with some gaps in between, which don't really make me so happy. But, I think the best way that kids learn is on their own experience through
Oh,
their
it's going to
own
end up being the
choices.
best. Yeah, I guarantee you it's going to end up being the best part of her summer is the time that she's with you. That's my opinion.
Yeah, well, the days are long, but the years are short. So you know what?
That sounds like a Paul Simon lyric.
Yeah, man.
All right, when we come back in our final segment, I have a hot topic, and I
Let's
want
do
your
it.
take on it. Don't go anywhere. John and Rebecca in for Frankie Boyer, WGCH, WBTN, WPKN. Thanks so much for listening. John Iannuzzi, producer, Rebecca Cooper, contributor, woman about town. I've been singing your praises on the air for a while. People are familiar with the voice. When it comes to things in Greenwich, I have a handful of people that I defer to. And one of the issues that keeps coming up, speed cameras. And I'm wondering
Oh
if
my
you have
God.
any if you have
Oh,
any input on
Jesus,
this.
Lord
Because when I
Almighty.
get off the Merritt Parkway and I meander my way downtown, I pass the signs and I'm aware that I'm on camera. What are your
No,
thoughts as
you are
someone
not.
zipping around?
Okay, so I, as well, a big part of my life is zipping on North Street because of where my children go to school. And John, because you and I are from the same hometown, I'm going to give this analogy. So outside of our hometown's middle school, there has always been like a flashing light and the warning between the hours of X and Y. This is a school zone. And when flashing, slow down. This is not a hard concept. You have a sign that says between, let's say, 8 and 4, Monday through Friday, you have to go 25 miles an hour. Okay? I think people get it. That's not very difficult to understand or comprehend, right?
Well, I got news for you. One of the biggest speed traps in our old town in Harrison was out in front. The cops used to hide at the JCC on Union Avenue.
Yeah, but we're talking school zone right now. Okay? I give the example of what's outside Lewis M. Klein Middle School in Harrison because it is a perfectly placed, comprehensive example of if you want to show drivers what they need to do and when they need to do it, this is how to do it. I don't understand how Greenwich messed this up so royally. They gave out like 1,500 tickets in the first 30 days. There was no comprehensive warning as to when is it a school zone? Are there flashing lights? Are there not flashing lights? We don't know. I travel on North Street at about 7:25 in the morning. There's no school at 7:25 in the morning going on North Street. But I used to slow down like everybody else. We were so scared. We thought speed cameras were taking our picture. And it's a joke amongst my friends, like, how many warnings did you get? And I understand when it's 1:30 in the afternoon and I'm on North Street, school is happening then. Slow down. But there's no official comprehensive signage to tell drivers when there's a school zone and what they need to do while in that school zone. None. And it blows my mind because it is a simple solution. Go look at what is outside of LMK Middle School in Harrison, New York, and copy it.
Do you feel that the first selectman indicated that he felt there was an issue in town with people speeding? Do you think there's a speeding issue in Greenwich?
1,000%. I happen to live in an area where once you leave the area and go up toward the elementary school, which, by the way, outside of Julian Curtis Elementary School, there is no speed camera warning. Just saying. And people blow stop signs. They are not signaling. I mean, it is quite literally criminal. And to boot, there are children all over this area. And people just don't care. They're reckless.
Yeah, I've seen essentially drag racing down West Putnam which is
Yeah.
insane. Before we wrap up, I talked a little bit about doom scrolling. Give us something good that you are following right now, and be honest, because I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. So
Now, you and I,
yeah.
which I would not have believed, but we kind of have a similar sense of humor. I'm not going to get into what type it is, but I was surprised to find that you found some of the stuff that I find funny. But what are you following now?
So I love this British man named Owen Cutts, and he does something called Old Music Friday. And he's a British guy. He's a producer. He's won, Grammys. And he's like, I know you know new music, but do you know some old music? Welcome to Old Music Friday. Have you ever heard Can't Buy Me Love? Okay. And then he plays it and he rocks out to it and he breaks down why this is the coolest thing he's ever heard. But he says it so funny. He's like, shut up. Shut your face. This is unbelievable. And he just like gets so into it. He has celebrities following him.
At Owen _Cuts.
CUTTS. He is a joy to watch. And it's just so heartfelt and like genuine and loving. It's really sweet. I really enjoy him. And it's on Fridays.
What did I do that my algorithm is all possums? I get a lot of opossum.
Well, are you shooting them in your backyard?
No, shoot. No. If anything, I would domesticate them, Rebecca.
Oh. Yeah, well.
I'm going to say this.
Oh, one other thing. If you don't follow Snoop Dogg, you are missing out. This guy is hilarious.
I think we started friending through the radio station when he did the Olympic coverage.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen him do like the National Geographic?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, well, he also does one where like he wrote a song, for his grandkids about being kind. And it's like a big hit in like the kids' bop world. You should listen to it. It's unbelievable.
We're just on the outskirts of Kids Bop, but my daughter won't turn it off if it comes on. One last suggestion, I got to find out who this guy is, but he takes videos of Kim Jong-un and he just puts his own stuff over it.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. It could literally change my mood, Rebecca. Well, I watched this and I'm in a better mood.
And one other shout out, not that Melanie Sanders needs it, but the We Do Not Care Club has been a revolution amongst women.
Yes, my wife is a member.
Yes, we are all members of the We Do Not Care Club. And she's doing such good with that. And it's really a reason that I'm happy I'm on social media for support groups like that. But on the whole, thumbs down.
You know what? We do care about you, and we thank you for joining us. And I hope that you have a great summer. And next time Frankie's off, will you be my co-host again?
Always, my joy.
All right. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Have a great Memorial Day weekend, and please stay safe.